Hey everybody, welcome back. I know it's been a while since I've put out a video, but y'all have been keeping me real busy with your amp repairs. I've had a lot of you bring in amps locally and a couple shipped in, so I really appreciate all of the support. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've been around, welcome back. I have an amp here on my bench that I'm really excited to document my repair of, as it's a very special amp. It's in all original condition, and cosmetically it's in beautiful shape. The amp is a circa 1940 Gibson EH185. So the cabinet is in great shape. We've got the original handle, beautiful pinstriping down the front. The Tolex is in very good shape for being from 1940. There's a little wear here, but that's about it. We still have the pretty Gibson hardware here. Yeah, I mean, this is really special. And then coming in from the back here, we have the amplifier itself. Two-prong power cord still. We'll be changing that. I mean, the control panel is like flawless. So we can see it's got a mic channel and an instrument channel, two inputs for the instrument. Gorgeous. So to give you a little context regarding the history of this amp, in the year 1939, when the EH185 was starting production, Franklin D. Roosevelt was the President of the United States. World War II was just beginning. The Wizard of Oz was released, and Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland was topping the charts. Gas was 10 cents a gallon, which comes to about $1.86 today. This amp was amongst some of the earliest electric guitar amps, and was partnered with the EH185 lap steel, as many of the amps of the time were. It was also popular with jazz and Spanish guitarists. This amp is simple with two instrument and one mic input. The mic input is way hotter than the instrument, and it really screams when you dig in a bit. This was not necessarily an ideal tone back in the day, as a lot of this music of that time was looking for a lot of clean tones. However, it really makes the amp versatile today. So you can see the amp just lifts out of the cabinet like so. And then on the inside, we've got the speaker, original speaker. Here is the speaker plug. We've got three 6SQ7 preamp tubes. We've got a 6N7, which I believe is the phase inverter. Output tubes are a pair of 6L6s, and then we've got a 5U4 rectifier. So here's an up close of some of the hardware, the handles. The paint is starting to wear a little bit, but not terribly. So cool. Now, let's take a look inside. Wow. I mean, completely original. So, obviously, I'm going to be changing these two caps and this cap. I have not tested the amp yet because I don't even want to turn it on. A lot of the times I would turn it on with the Variac, but in this case I'm just gonna immediately change these filter caps and then reevaluate. It's probably gonna need these bypass caps as well. You can see there's some leakage happening there. But yeah, I mean, this is a true treasure. I am honored to work on this piece and excited to get into it. So here we go. All right, so I have unscrewed the caps so we can get a closer look. Looks like each one is a 20 and a 10 microfarad. Since, you know, the amp already has some mounting holes, I think what I'll do is install some terminal strips for the new caps. I'm going to be using F&Ts. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove these and then install some terminal strips. I've installed this terminal strip right here, and it's pretty much just to help with maintaining a clean layout. It gives me a place to, you know, solder certain points to, so I don't have to run super long wires all over the place. So the two filter caps that were affiliated with the preamp, one of them fed the plates of the preamp tubes, and then one fed the plates of the phase inverter tube. And they were both grounded at the same point right here. So I'm going to maintain that grounding scheme. Basically, I've set this as the ground point. Here, I've grounded it to the original ground point. One of the caps connects right here at this point, which feeds the 100K plate resistors for the preamp tubes. And then the other one connects right here, which feeds also the 100K plate resistors for the phase inverter tube. All right, so just to recap what I've done here, we've got both caps grounded at this point. The 10 microfarad goes to the preamp tube plates, and the 22 goes to the phase inverter plate. So that's it for the preamp filter caps. And now moving on to the first filter stage, which attaches directly to the rectifier, and then the second filter stage, which connects to the screens of the 6L6 output tubes. All right, so I've got the screen filter cap wired up there, and this is going to be the ground connection. So that cap and then the cap coming off the rectifier were all grounded to this point here. So I'm going to maintain that and run a wire from here to here for the ground. And then I'm going to hook up the 22 microfarad cap on the rectifier right here. Alrighty, so now we have this filter cap, that's the first filtering stage, connected to the rectifier tube, grounded to this point here, which is grounded to the ground lug, and then the second filter cap in the power amp stage going to the screens of the output tubes. And then the two preamp filters. Now I'm also going to just go ahead and change these remaining two electrolytics, which are the cathode bypass caps in the preamp. just because they are leaky and I'm gonna have to change them anyways, so might as well do it now. We've got the 2 bypass caps in. Now I'm just gonna give the amp a quick service and then change the power cord, and then we'll be ready to test. So I have the amp on, and it is passing signal, although the signal is pretty low output and pretty farty sounding. So I'll demonstrate that for you, and then I'll move on to try and diagnose the issue. I was doing some voltage measurements, and on one plate of the phase inverter, the voltage is at about 150, and the other plate of the phase inverter is at like 50 volts. So I'm going to change both of these plate resistors and see if the voltage, becomes correct on the plate. All right, so changing the plate resistor resulted in no change to the voltage. So my next step is going to be changing the 2 coupling caps to the power tubes because they are leaking voltage anyways, so I will be changing them anyways. It's possible that this one is bringing down the voltage on this pin, or the tube itself is bad. I don't have a 6N7 in stock right now, so I'm gonna have to order one up if these cap replacements don't fix that. All right, good news, that fixed it. So now we have the high enough voltage on both plates of the phase inverter. So I do want to mention the microphone volume pot. It's scratchy sounding, and that's not a dirty pot. It's actually the sound of DC voltage present on the pot. And I'm going to measure over here. There's 11 volts present on the pot. So tracing that back, we have this cap. So tracing it back, this cap right here, this coupling cap, is leaking. So I'll be changing that as well, and that should get rid of the scratchy mic volume pot. Because one side of the cap we have 130 volts, which is correct, but the other side has 11, and it should not be passing any DC voltage at all. There's no longer any crackling on the microphone volume control. And just to verify, I'm going to measure 0 volts. So that issue now has also been solved. All right, I believe that is all the work that needs to be done on this amp for now, so let's hear it on both the instrument channel and then follow it up with the mic channel. Alright y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video of this really special restoration. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a follow on Instagram at Fazio Electric. See you guys next time.